Hello traders, this is Rich with Breathingwiththemarkets.com. Today is September 9th, 2025. What a shit show. I lost my ass today. I say it over and over again. When I go against the system, you're going to lose. And what did I do? I went against the system this morning, had a little time, and I lost. Was it FOMO? No. Was it a lack of knowledge? No. Was I gambling? Yes, against my system. Not good. Not good. I made the choice to go into those trades. Nothing was holding me back. I understood the risk. And I tell the mentees, do not go against the system. You will fucking lose. It's a fact. It's a fact. They know where I was at in the market. When I just shared my trades, they know exactly where I was at. And they know I didn't wait. And they know I went against the system. That is the key about objective trading. Each and every one of the mentees can say, Rich, what the fuck were you doing? I was a fucking idiot today. And guess what? When you're an idiot and you don't wait, that's what's going to happen. You cannot force a trade. Now, just because I had little time, I had a very little window to trade. I only had the first, I think about 10 minutes, but I stretched it to 15 minutes at the open. That's not, you shouldn't trade that way unless it's in your system, right? So I have no problem trading that way, but it wasn't. And I had to leave and I had to do a bunch of stuff. I just got back. What time is it? Just about 3 hours later, I just got back. I didn't want to wait 3 hours. Why? I just didn't want to wait 3 hours. So what happens? You force a trade. That's not in your system, not the plan. This is exactly what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter. Those people, those traders, those influencers that say anything works, any style of trading works, that's not true. It's not true. You have to be in the right area in order to implement your strategy or your edge or your system. You have to be in that right area. You cannot just think anything works, okay? Because it doesn't. It doesn't. And what if you don't know, you can't really focus or you can't comment on something that you don't know. Because I understand the market and I know other people understand that market, but it's not one shoe fits all. You have to be in the right area in order for any strategy to work at that point in time. I'm talking about the bad, but I passed some other things and I was up and I got greedy, okay? But I'm not going to talk about that. The bottom line is I got my ass handed to me because I didn't follow my own system and I had a short limit of time. I had a short period of time to trade, and not being in the system, that's pure fucking gambling. That's a fact. It's gambling. There was no objective reason for me to be in the market. Zero. And I lost these fucking accounts. Well, that's what happens. You lose those accounts. You know going in, that's what's going to happen. And what did you do? You touched the fire, you got burnt. It's not a fear of missing out. FOMO comes from a lack of knowledge in the market. I didn't have a lack of knowledge in the market. I knew I wasn't in the right area to trade. And I pushed these accounts anyways. I mean, one was up like $2,500 and wanted more. I was gambling from the time I pressed the buttons. And when I pressed the buttons on Quantower, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that went on this morning. But the fact is, I was not in the right area in the first place. And therefore, I didn't have time. Time was not on my side. So time was not on my side. Quantower started showing all of the, because I trade a lot of micros or minis, whatever, 5 minis in the market. And I'm just banging them. And all of a sudden, all these flags on the right are coming up, covering up the flatten button, covering up the long and short button, so I couldn't even get to the buttons. And it's not the reason why I lost, but remember, when it rains, it fucking pours. And if I'm reaching for the button trying to flatten positions that I'm in profit, I can't get to them because it's submitting all of these orders and the order confirmations are all the way up, and there's tons of them because I'm trading different accounts. There's tons of them, and I have to wait until they clear or click these buttons, but there was tons of them, and I couldn't get to the buttons. That wouldn't have been an issue if I was on the right side of the market and I was trading the system. Not only did I go into those trades against the system, other things started to pile up and ended up being a disaster. That hasn't happened in a while, but it's going to happen if you're not trading on the right side of the market, period. So say that I actually won those trades today. The mentees would still know that I was not in the right area to trade. I mean, you can't hide it. That's how objective it is. So I informed them what happened. I said, I told you, don't fucking do this. Don't do this. I told you many, many, many times, don't go against the system. This is what happens. So please, mentees, if you're listening, don't do that shit. It's not going to work, man. Just don't go against the system. It's not going to work. So we go back. So let's get back. So there's no miscommunication, okay? Just because someone has a strategy in the market or someone has an edge in the market, you have to implement that in the right areas of the market. The market's just not going to give you something just because you think you have a strategy or if you think you have an edge. That's not how this works. The market is basically 3 to 4 different levels of areas in the market. And I'm not going to explain that to YouTube, but there's 3 to 4 levels in the market at any given time or day, okay? Even though you have this strategy that you backtest over and over and over and over again, it is only going to work if you're in the right area in the first place, if you have a good strategy or an edge. That's where a lot of people are very confused and they have no clue of what they're doing in the market. And that doesn't mean, we're talking about an objective system, okay? So not subjective, because that's just bullshit. That's just gambling. That's just exactly what I did today. I had no objective reason to get in the market today and lost my ass. I lost those accounts. What do you do? On, let's see, on Top Step, just because the account rebooted. I don't know how Top Step works, but I know I passed this. Oh, no, I didn't. Shit. Maybe I'll pass it. Hold on. Maybe I'll pass it while we're here. How about that? Let me see if I can share my screen. I thought I passed it. I didn't. It's only day 2. Okay, so I need $12. Okay? So I need $12. Where's my... Oh, fuck! I locked my ass out. Shit. Well, don't misunderstand what I'm actually saying about gurus and fakes out there. It is very, very clear, traders. You can't trade the market in a subjective way and claim to be a multi-million-dollar trader. Impossible. Impossible. You cannot. You have to have money coming in, because being a subjective trader, a hunch, intuition, and all of that, it's like literally going to the casino, winning one time, or betting and betting and betting until you win and go, okay, I quit. Now I've traded. I've made all my money trading. No, that's not how it works. If you have to have a consistent plan in a methodical way, you have to approach the market in an objective way to have consistency. Very, very high hit rate. We're talking high. 90s, 80s, 90s, up there. Okay, I'm just throwing numbers around. But if you go against the system, you're gonna fucking lose about 100%, right? So flip-flop that. But as soon as I say something, oh my God, you know, how can somebody have, nobody has 100%, blah, 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 nobody has a 99%. So they can go off and do whatever they're going to do. But the point is, it's an extremely high hit rate. So if you have an extremely high objective hit rate, using an objective plan, objective hit rate, you are in the right area of the market, okay? So when you're in the wrong area of the market, there's nothing that you can do to convince yourself to take a trade. Because if it doesn't align, it doesn't align. Therefore, you're gambling. And this morning, I went against my system, and I didn't even have any business of trading. And basically, I would have been okay because there wasn't a trade setup for me to even take. There wasn't a trade setup for me to take. I was just fucking impatient. And when you're impatient and you're not going to wait for your plan, as long as it's objective, that's what's going to happen. That's what you're going to risk. You're going to risk your accounts. You're going to risk your hard work. And that's what happened today. So when we talk about fake gurus and we talk about them changing strategies over and over again, you don't change a strategy that works, right? So let's use some common sense. If someone keeps searching for strategies over and over and over again, and they want to say, well, I claim to be a multi-million-dollar trader, but I'm continuing to try to grow and change my strategy. Well, wait a minute. If you have, I wouldn't do that with my trading system. And the mentees know I wouldn't do that with the trading system that I have. I put a lot of fucking hours and 20s of thousands of trades and 20s of thousands of hours in the market. Why would I try to seek something else? It works. It works with a high percentage hit rate. I mean, what more can you ask for when people are trying to explain 30% is okay, 30% hit rate as long as you do a 3 to 1. All of this BS. Okay? It's BS. You know, 40% works as long as you do a 1 to 4, and then you get a little more, or just 50% and win more than you lose. You know, cut your losses short. Cut your losses short. Who has the smarts? Who's the Einstein that thought of that? Cut your losses short. Well, what's the definition of a loss? What do you mean cut your losses short? Once again, come on here. I'll interview you. You can explain what that looks like. Cut your losses short without your opinion. Without your opinion. Because if you start putting stop losses where you think they should be, is that an opinion or is that a fact? Well, I always put it down below the next low or above the high. That's what I always do. Well, that's not always true on every trade. The higher low can be, according to what you're saying, but that higher low is going to be different from the rest of the highs and lows that you've done. You see? It's not accurate. It's not consistent. So you have to think, I can't sit here and lead a horse to the water. I teach traders how to trade in the market, and they will understand exactly what I'm saying. Not every low and high is the same. But if you're trading on the right side of the market and you're trading objective, yes, it's the same. We can't argue with that. And if you don't trade to plan, you're going to get your ass handed to you, like I did. I didn't have FOMO. I was a fucking idiot today. Admit it. It's an idiot. Yes, I deserved it. I own it. I did it. No excuses. I showed it. Showed it to mentees. They know. Like, what the fuck you doing? You know what I was doing. Obviously gambling, right? When you're not to plan, you're gambling. That's a fact. When it's subjective. I thought it was going there for a reason. They knew, right? I thought it was. I was going to take it there and then get out. I thought, I think, I know. All bullshit. Doesn't work, traders. If it works for you and if it worked for me, I would still know that I was trading against objective style trading. Regardless, if I won the biggest day of my life taking those trades, and some accounts I was up pretty good, and if I won, I would still have to come back, sit down and go, you got fucking lucky. I got lucky. If I closed, I went to close some of those accounts, went to reach, and I had a freaking scroll of confirmation receipts on the side confirming the positions I was in, and I couldn't get them off the screen. Say that they weren't there, and I went over there and clicked flatten all, I would have been in profit. Is it a trade to brag about? No, it's not. It's not, because it was gambling. There was no subjective reason to get in there. And as soon as I sent that information to the mentees, they would say the same thing. Why did you get in that trade? They know. It was gambling. I own it. I did it. And I paid for it. It happens, right? It happens. I was crunched for time, and there's no excuse. No excuse. I knew. I had my chart set. They saw that. No reason to get in. So with that said, once again, just because you win in the market doesn't mean you had a great trade. Just because you lose in the market does not mean you had a great trade. It's both. Works both ways. And the fact is, you are going to lose your ass, your account, your savings, all the money you have if you're not trading objectively in the market. That's a fact. I am being honest with you. That is a fact. There is no way, with all the knowledge that I have in my head and trading experience and the thousands and thousands of trades that I've taken, a number of hours in the market, if I repeated what I did today and I was able to push those buttons in time and got out in profit, that is a recipe for disaster. That's a fact. There's no way I would be able to survive trading like I did today. Absolutely no way. So I'm reaching out to you. I am explaining. You may not like some of these videos, but they're the facts. If you don't like the facts, it seems like, oh, make a video and you talk about subjective trading, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? I am showing you that, yes, subjective trading. I'm not making this up, because the mentees watch videos too when they have times. And they know that when I'm talking and I'm saying today, it was all pure subjective trading. I know, I wish, I want. Give it to me. And guess what? You gave it to me. I lost those accounts. And actually, did I show that account? Yes, I did. So let's go back there. So actually, this is not. I have one other account that I lost on here. For some reason, so if you exit out and come back, I'm like, shit, I forgot to take a picture, blah, blah, blah. So I had one account, so I lost 4 accounts today. One account I did well. One account was $1,500. And that doesn't matter, because that doesn't erase this. And, what do you do? So that's the whole story. So I lost 4 accounts today, and it is what it is. And I know why I lost. It doesn't mean that I have to go back and journal. It doesn't mean I need to journal, Rich, trade objectively. I mean, it's fucking common sense, right? Rich, don't trade subjectively. Fucking common sense. Okay? So this is the beauty of having an objective trading system. There's no need to journal. It's right there in front of me. This weekend, I'm going to do another group session and talk to the mentees. And we're going to go over and talk about this trade also. Because I cannot stress more and more and more that if you follow the system that I teach you in an objective way, you are going to gain a skill for life that no one will ever take away from you. That skill is going to be so powerful, so powerful, it's going to change your life. What does that mean? It's going to change your life in different ways. Depends what changing your life means. And that's what's important in life. Not the fake gurus, not people that say they made millions of dollars when actually they were making money on selling video courses, absolute video courses where they had 20 or 10 videos like I do here on YouTube. And they teach you on YouTube, but they're not teaching you anything. That's a fact. That stuff, yes, you can go and get all of that information for free on YouTube. That is a fact. Listen to me carefully. All of the information that I've seen through the courses that I've taken and paid for, you can learn that on YouTube. But that's not going to make you profitable. You have to have something that is so tight and so objective in the market that you cannot do what I did today and get in the market. I love the fucking open. I didn't want to wait for the 15-minute session to be over, the first 15 minutes, because I didn't have the time. But it's still not an excuse to get in the market. But it's still not an excuse to get in the market. I knew exactly what I was doing, and it was subjective. And if I could reach out to you and show you that what I did today, not just because I lost, but because each mentee can verify what I did was wrong. How is that possible? That all of a sudden a mentee, a student can say, Rich, what you did was wrong. And I have thousands and thousands more trades than them. And they can tell me, each one of them, Rich, you fucked up. You were wrong. You did not trade your system. And what you're trading was subjective. And what would I say? I'm glad you said that. You're fucking right. You're right. And remember that. Because it's okay to be wrong. It's okay, traders, to be wrong. It's not okay to be right by accident. It's not okay to be right by gambling. It's not okay to be right by thinking you're right. It's only okay to be right when it's objective in the market. I hope you're getting it. I hope you understand it. I fucked up, I own it, and it was subjective trading at its finest today, and blew the shit out of it. Peace, traders.